Hello, so here is a mad thing that actually happened in real life. In 2013, the UK Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, the man who was personally redesigning the entire British benefit system, was asked live whether he could live on £53 a week, which was the amount that was meant to be getting paid to the poorest claimants. And he said, if I had to, I would. Within 48 hours, hundreds of thousands of people had signed a petition asking him to prove it. And he never did. Dr. Keltner at UC Berkeley has spent years studying what he calls the power paradox. As people gain wealth and power, their capacity for empathy measurably decreases. And this is a consistent finding across multiple studies. Researchers in the Netherlands found that wealth and power are associated with reduced activity in the mirror neuron system, the neural architecture involved in empathy, in modelling what others feel. And this is important. I'm not telling you that these studies prove that wealthy people are incapable of empathy. They don't. But the pattern is real. The tendency is measurable. And when we're talking about systems, about parliaments and cabinets and policy committees, patterns and tendencies are exactly what matters. Now add in what we know about homophily. It means essentially people hang around with people like themselves. On its own, homophily is just a feature of human social behaviour. But when you combine it with the empathy reduction effects of wealth and power, you get people who are less attuned to others' suffering and who never encounter evidence that might correct that blind spot. And this is what's mad, is that we already account for cognitive bias in other high-stakes domains. In medicine, we insist on double-blind trials because we know that researchers' expectations distort their observations. We don't just say researchers are bad people, we say human cognition has known vulnerabilities and we need to design systems that account for them. But when it comes to guiding economic policy, we don't factor in what decades of psychology and neuroscience have taught us about how wealth and power affect cognition. 40% of members of parliament went to private school. 7% of the general population went to private school. It's not representative. But the real question is, what do we do with this information? Well, one thing I think we can do is not shut up about it. Like every time Parliament debates welfare reform, someone should be asking, are the people who will be affected by this in the room? The evidence exists, the science is real, the effects are measurable. And right now, in 2026, this entire body of research plays essentially zero role in how we structure economic debate, economic decision making.